Hi, my name's Barb Hobson, and I've been involved with Place des Arts for more than 25 years. My kids started here my daughter was 3, and came for the fabulous programming that's always been here. And I joined the board about 25 years ago, and I've been on the board since the 90s. And been the board chair for the last 10 years. I'm also involved locally in a lot of different areas, and I've been on the school board for close to 14 years. As far as my career goes, I worked mostly in areas that were educational. So I worked at BCIT, supporting the Board of Governors. And I worked at a place called NUMIC, New Media Innovation Center, and I worked as a computer operator before I had children at BCIT. So once I had kids, I started volunteering and getting involved in the community more. I've been on close to 20 boards, but the one that I'm most passionate about is Place des Arts. I've loved every minute I've spent here. My daughter had been going here for a few years, and one of her preschool friends' mother was on the board of Place des Arts, and she invited me to come to a meeting, and I guess they looked at me, I looked at them, and I was invited to join the board at that point. And it was just before the expansion. So it was quite an exciting time for Place des Arts and for those of us who used to come, and the parking lot got all muddy and we couldn't find our way around, and everybody was excited about how it would turn out. I think the most impact that Place des Arts has had on my life is through my children. They really needed a place where they could come and feel respected and included and do something that they enjoyed. So when school might be a little bit overwhelming, Place des Arts was a place that you didn't need to finish anything, you didn't need to get a grade on anything, you just came, you sat, you talked to the other students and your instructor, and just enjoyed some quiet time after the end of the school day. One of the things that I remember most is when we did the rebranding at Place des Arts, and the board was involved in that, and just love the new branding. The old branding said, we were in Coquitlam, but the new branding really tells a story of who we are, and is so welcoming and intriguing for people to hopefully come and visit us and find out more about what they can do in the building and what's going on. I think that Place des Arts is a place not just for people who are interested in the arts, but people who appreciate the arts. You don't have to be an artist. I did take a pottery class, and people used to say to me, "What are you going to make?" And I said, "Hopefully something round." And this is probably the sum total of my production. But I loved every minute of the class. It was just relaxing to come in and chat with the other students and get some knowledge. And, you went away thinking, oh, I wonder if that'll turn out, or if the kiln will kind of, if it won't be the way I imagined it when it comes out of the kiln. So that was a lot of fun. And I've done other things at Place des Arts as well. But I think the most involvement that I believe is important is my children, and the way that they weren't really sporty. They were more interested in learning and and in a cooperative way, not having to compete with anyone. So they loved every minute of the time they spent at Place des Arts, and I don't think either one of them ever missed a lesson. Yeah, so one of the funny stories I have about Place des Arts is in the, I think it must have been about the 80s. Yeah, it was the early 80s, and so things have changed a lot. But at that time, my daughter had been taking pottery classes for a number of years, and there was a new brochure that came out. And when I came into the facility, they said, "What did you think? You know, your daughter's on the front cover." And I said, I didn't even recognize her. She doesn't have a smock that color, Ken. I just assumed it was some other child. But no, that wouldn't happen today. I think one of the most memorable aspects of Place des Arts is our fundraising. We need to raise funds for our extra programming and for students who might not be able to otherwise participate. And for about 3 or 4 years, we did an event called Impromptu, which was spectacular. It was so much fun. I think staff enjoyed it as much as the participants. It was an opportunity for them to show their skills, and the community came together to support Place des Arts and found out, what we do on a daily basis, which is singing and dancing and music and performances and art, all in one space.